What if one morning you sat down on that golden throne looking for a bit of relief and nothing happened? You might not worry yourself too much, but what if nothing happened for 14 days straight? My name is Stephanie and I live with chronic constipation. This is my story. I've struggled with constipation my entire life, but the consistency and severity of it was never enough to warrant any serious concern, typically lasting about 2 days without any movement, but that was normal for me. It wasn't until my father's passing in 2020 that my bouts of constipation went from 2 days to like 4 or 5 days, as if the core of my body was shook by the loss of my dad, having a direct impact on this issue, which makes sense because we know our emotions impact our health directly. Now, I'm sure you can imagine not going to the bathroom for 5 days, or maybe you can't, which in that case, I'm happy for you, but my belly would get so bloated like a balloon. I felt like super heavy and I was just irritable to the point where my boyfriend at the time, husband now, Dalton, suggested that we go get colonics, which is basically where they shove a little tube up your butt with water and, flush you out. So we booked a couple's colonic, how romantic, and went up to Portland for the weekend to go get these done. Now, my colonic experience was something that I need to do like a whole separate video on because it was traumatic. But what you need to know is that it completely reset my gut to the point where I wasn't using the restroom for like a week at a time. I started experiencing severe bloating and sensitivity like I had never understood before. After everything I ate, I just, my stomach couldn't handle it. And I was basically living on over-the-counter laxatives, which really freaked me out because I am not a medication girly at all. Fast forward 2 months, Dalton and I are moving to Thailand. I will save that for a separate video as well. But I was still dealing with constipation every couple weeks, but trying to live my life. I just relied on Big Daddy Dukelax to do the trick when I needed him to. First week in Thailand, we're in Bangkok and we're eating whatever the hell we want because we're in Bangkok. So this means 7-Eleven, Thai teas, lattes, street food cart, every dessert I could get my little paws on until I didn't go to the bathroom for 6 days, which was a new record, and Dalton told me we had to go to the doctor. As a foreigner in Thailand, going to a typical physician is a little trickier than just waltzing into a private hospital with your foreigner money in hand. So that's what we did. We showed up at the Bangkok private hospital, which was very nice, by the way, and went to the gastro department where they did a belly x-ray of me and found out that my entire colon was full of shit. I still have the photos of the x-rays with all the little turds in there, which I think is kind of hilarious. Should I show those to you guys? I feel like I should show them to you. No, I'm not going to show them to you. Okay, I'll show them. But the doctor told me that I was the most backed up person he had ever seen in his life, and he was like, go to the nurses immediately, get a saline enema. And enemas are dope, you guys, because that was the first thing that really worked. But then he sent me home with no answers and a boatload of prescription strength laxatives to presumably take for the rest of my life. During my next 6.5 months in Thailand, I was in and out of the hospital 12 times total. I ended up getting a colonoscopy there, and thankfully that came back normal with the exception of a very inflamed colon, but things just kept getting worse from there. I eventually hit a jaw-dropping 14 days without going to the bathroom at all. Can you imagine 14 days of food stuck in your body? I felt like I was literally going to explode. So before I did, we went back to the United States. Back in the US, we did some pretty intensive testing and found out that I am severely intolerant to both gluten and dairy, two things which I had not been avoiding but needed to cut out completely. And then we also found out that I had undiagnosed Hashimoto's thyroiditis, an autoimmune condition that I had probably had for over 6 years, which is super not lovely or safe on my body. But after years of unexplained symptoms, I felt relieved and scared to get the diagnosis. And this is where a lot of things in my life changed. My diet, my outlook on the severity of my health issues, and like the understanding of the severity from everyone around me. From this point on, I started to take my health a lot more seriously and learned everything I could about how to heal myself from autoimmunity. I've spent probably like $10,000 out of pocket at this point doing all the blood, saliva, hair, and stool tests. Poor Dalton. But it has been the most interesting deep dive into both my personal health and also the US medical system in general, which never seemed to be too interested in finding the root cause of my issues. My whole life, I was told to take more laxatives, eat more fiber, and given these random medications, but I don't recall a single time when a doctor asked me about my diet, my stress levels, my past trauma history, my history with eating disorders, or did any testing to find like real answers. After I kind of realized this, I took my healing back into my own hands, and I've been exploring treatments beyond medication and laxatives. I've been working really closely with an integrative naturopathic doctor for the past 9 months who's helping me seal my gut lining, nourish my body with the nutrients that it has been craving, and detox from things that I didn't even know I was being bombarded with. And that brings me to today. I am so proud, I could cry, thinking about how my bowels are finally doing so well after causing me hell for my entire life. This is what American Move Out is all about, putting freedom and wellness before everything else, no matter what or where the solution may be. Join us on our journey as both Dalton and I explore healing, thinking, and medical tourism that's outside of the box as we both continue to heal our bodies in and out of the US. If you're going through your own personal struggles with stomach issues, constipation, thyroid problems, I want you to know that you clicked on this video for a reason. Healing is possible. You are capable, and your body is literally designed to be in perfect health. I believe in you, and I am so excited to be on this healing path together. Cheers to wellness, and I'll catch you in the next one. I hope that was good.